Okay, welcome to tonight's lesson. So, like I promised that today we're going to start a new topic, and this topic that we're going to begin, that is the first topic that you guys are going to do when you open school. Yeah, so for the past few days, I haven't been properly, the lessons haven't been stable due to the laptop. I'm sure you always see how I struggle just to write, just to do one or two things, even just speaking. Sometimes you find that the network will cut. Yeah, so this time around, I've decided to use a computer that is at least a bit advanced in terms of the specs. Yeah, that's why you are seeing it, it's not lagging. So this tells us that from today, our lessons will be very clear and you guys will be able to understand without any challenges. And I would urge everyone to also find a book where you're going to be writing and solving along as I'm going to be solving. And then, yeah, so tonight is just going to be a short lesson. It will not even take more than 10 minutes. We'll be done. Yeah, so basically what we're just going to look at is the introduction, which is just the course content. The subtopics under calculus, the things that we're going to look at, the things that we're going to discuss as we progress with calculus. Yeah, so before I begin, I'd like to apologize for whatever inconveniences that happened. Yeah, because they were all beyond my control. I couldn't control them. I was also trying my best. I'm sure you saw that I was even making lecture slides, proper, full lecture slides. But due to network, sometimes you find that the problem was with the laptop. I couldn't teach properly things that would be recorded and even be posted somewhere. That's the reason why even the videos in the past few lessons that we've had, the videos haven't been posted to the group. But for this one, trust me, I'm going to post it as soon as I'm done teaching, introducing you to this marvelous topic. All right, so these are the few topics that we are going to discuss together. So we are going to first look at the introduction to limits. So in calculus, the limits are very important. Limits is a very important topic because it's applicable. It's applicable to most questions in calculus, and not only in calculus, even just in our daily lives. Okay, we use limits, but we don't know that we use them. And I'm sure when we start discussing them, you agree with me. I think we'll reach a point where I'll explain some applications for limits and you understand what I'm talking about. And then the other thing that I think we are going to discuss in this, the other thing that we're going to discuss in this topic, calculus, is finding the limits numerically and graphically. So this one we're not going to spend a lot of time on it because mostly they don't even bring them in our exams. Yeah, so we're just going to touch a few points on this one. If not just an explanation, then we'll move on to finding limits algebraically. So this is where we're going to dwell. We're going to go deeper on this one. Then apart from that, we'll move to tangents and tangent lines and the derivatives of what? Of functions using limits. Yeah, so we are going to do this together, and I believe everyone is going to understand because calculus is almost like the simplest topic in mathematics. The reason why I say that is because I personally can explain calculus without even using a book. I can even be giving examples, coming up with examples we solve together without a book. Yeah, but for the sake of following what is in your syllabus, we'll be following everything step by step. and according to the formulas that you have been told, or the formulas that are recommended, because there are so many ways in which you can solve calculus questions. And by the way, limits are the basic foundations of calculus itself. And so you need to know them. Then calculus is the basic, it's one of the cardinal things, it's one of the most important things an engineer is supposed to know. Without knowing this topic, you can't do engineering. So if you are one of those people that are planning to do engineering, make sure that you know this. Calculus should be something that you don't even need to open a book if you've been presented with a question. You just need to begin to solve the question, because in engineering, whatever that we're going to learn this semester, in engineering, those will be considered that you've learned, and there will be basics. So the calculus that you do in engineering will just be an upgraded format of whatever that we're going to discuss. Okay, so from there, we'll begin to look at limits at infinity. And then apart from that, we'll look at limits of sequences. So once we are done with this, that's when now we'll start using the ordinary ways of differentiation, because limits can also be used to differentiate functions. But after learning all the limits, that's when I'll proceed to using the ordinary forms or the ordinary formulas that are used for differentiation. Then apart from that, we'll proceed to application of differentiation. So application of differentiation and application of limits is almost the same, except that limits will require you to write a lot of things, to solve a lot of things. But for differentiation, the formulas that we're going to be using, or the methods that we're going to learn on differentiation, are simply almost like the short forms of differentiating. Rather, they are going to be short ways of solving questions, in short. Yeah, so once we are done with that, we'll go to applications. And apart from application, before we do applications of differentiation, I'm also going to teach you the formula, I'm also going to teach you the methods, the proper methods that are used when differentiating functions. Yeah, so I'll make sure that I explain those things so that even when you meet them this coming semester, it will just be a walkover. You will not face any challenges. The other important topic that we have to discuss is integration. Integration is very important because in engineering, just from the word go in engineering, from second year until you finish engineering, even when you go into the society, you will still be using differentiation. I mean, integration. You still be integrating functions. You still be applying, or you still be applying this integration in solving questions and even in real life situations. Yeah, so the exact things that you're going to be doing in society is what we are going to discuss on the applications of rather integration. So this is going to be our last part. And then after this, we'll just be going through the tutorial sheets. And then once we're done with the tutorial sheets for calculus, that's when we can proceed and start another topic. Because the other two topics that you are going to learn in calculus, they should be, I think, complex numbers there. Vectors are supposed to be there. Then what else? If you have enough time, you also do coordinate geometry, rather analytical geometry. So you do complex numbers, vectors, and analytical geometry. That's if the semester will be enough for you. And even when you guys open, I believe when you have time or at night, or we can just choose maybe 2 days in a week where we can just be going through tutorial sheets so that you are up to date. Yeah, so this is what I just wanted to explain tonight. And thank you very much for attending. In case you have any question, you can just unmute yourself and ask. All right, so like I said, meeting is always 21 hours. So I've moved it from 20 hours. I think I'll even change the timetable and post it into the group. So it will always be 21 hours because I discovered that mostly I reach home at 19:30. So for me to just prepare everything that I need to do, or that I need to prepare for me to start teaching, it will take me like an hour or 1 hour 30 minutes. That's the reason why I mostly find myself starting around 21. So 21 is the best time for us to start, to be learning. So every day, whether physics or mathematics, we'll be doing at 21 hours. So keep that in mind and don't forget, I'll resend the timetable. So this video will be sent to the group for the sake of those that have missed it, so that they can also have time to just listen to whatever that I've said. All right, thank you very much for attending tonight's lesson. So see you tomorrow. I think tomorrow we can even start calculus, seeing that we've missed classes in the previous, this week. So tomorrow we'll start calculus. We'll start with limits. Yeah. So thank you and good night.
Thank you and good night too.
Thank you.